Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Paulina was reassured over the phone by a shirtless Shawn that Chanel was okay at his house. She didn't want Johnny to know that she had spent the night at his house. Chanel, dressed in Shawn's shirt, came out of the bedroom during the discussion. Chanel nervously mouthed the word no as Shawn began to ask Paulina whether she wanted to speak with her daughter. Shawn got Paulina off the phone and made up an explanation. After expressing gratitude to Shawn for filling in for her with Paulina, Chanel admitted with shame that she couldn't recall much of the night before. She spoke into detail about what she did recall, such as her altercation with Johnny and her subsequent visit to Small Bar. She remembered kissing Shawn, too, but that was the last thing she remembered. Chanel questioned Shawn outright if they had shared a bed. Shawn took a sip of his coffee and explained that Chanel had refused to go back to Paulina's residence, so he had taken her home with him. Nothing had happened between Chanel and Shawn, save that Shawn had tried to sober her up by giving her water. Chanel expressed regret to Shawn for her actions and said that, despite Johnny's lack of interest in her wedding vows, they still held significance for her. Shawn questioned Chanel's presumption and informed her about Johnny's apparent regret at the bachelor celebration. Additionally, he subtly reminded Chanel that she had also become inebriated and nearly erred. Chanel was advised by Shawn to concentrate on the positive aspects of her relationship with Johnny. She might be able to forgive him after that. Chanel stated that while she valued Shawn's opinion, she was just as incensed at Johnny's attempt to hide his behavior. Shawn could relate to Johnny and Chanel since in his relationship with Belle, he had been the one who cheated and the one who was cheated on. If Shawn and Belle had finally called it quits, Chanel didn't see how she could salvage her marriage to Johnny. Admire Days, B&B, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here. Shawn claimed that even though his relationship with Belle was irreparably ruined, he would have tried if he had even the slightest hope that they could have worked things out. He forced Chanel to treat Johnny the same way. While in the DiMera estate, Johnny texted Chanel to check on her. When Kristen entered the room to make herself a drink, it momentarily diverted him from his concerns. "I'm relieved that Rachel was located," Johnny said. While Kristen was also relieved, she wished Rachel had shown more remorse for her actions. When Johnny inquired about Rachel's whereabouts, Kristen said that her resourceful little girl had managed to find her way back to her former Armid home. Kristen sat down with Johnny and told him how Rachel had used the family scrapbook to find Armid. As a result of the talk, Kristen began to recall all of the dramatic events that had taken place at her former residence, including the wedding of Peter and Jennifer, Andre's framing of John for murder, and the revelation that her mother, who had been thought to be dead, had actually been alive. Kristen updated Johnny on her mother's past as the woman in white, when she was believed to be a ghost and wore a veil. After a fire, Kristen's mother lost her memory, but she finally regained it. Regretfully, she had been murdered once more during a confrontation with Stefano a few months after she had reunited with Kristen and Peter. Brady made another attempt to contact Ava at John and Marlena's house. He informed her about Rachel in a follow-up communication. Brady was offered a cup of coffee by Marlena as she entered the room. After the bachelorette party, she said, Belle was sleeping in late. Brady told Marlena about Rachel's alleged reasons for fleeing. He was even more convinced that Rachel needed therapy after the experience. The number of a colleague who specialized in working with youngsters was provided to him by Marlena. Later, Brady said he intended to take Rachel to see a therapist when he dropped by the DiMera mansion. Brady did not believe it was necessary, despite Kristen's insistence that she wanted to travel as well. He and Kristen got into a heated argument over Rachel's care, during which Kristen made a mocking remark about Ava. Brady claimed that he was unable to get in touch with Ava. Brady was reprimanded by Kristen for Ava ghosting him, but Johnny cut him off and urged him to play his message from Ava. Johnny agreed that the call had sounded urgent after listening. Brady confirmed to Rachel that he would call the police if he didn't hear from Ava right away. After Johnny departed, Kristen reluctantly acknowledged that, for Brady's sake, she hoped Ava was located quickly. Brady growled, "You almost sounded sincere." Kristen smiled and shot back, and I almost was. Chanel came home to find Johnny waiting for her at Paulina's house. He clarified that Paulina had allowed him inside because she felt sorry for him due to his concern about Chanel. Chanel claimed she was all right except for a hangover. With hesitation, Johnny asked where Chanel had gone. She answered, "I stayed the night with Shawn Brady." Chanel confirmed that she had just spent the night at Shawn's house, despite Johnny's assumption that she had slept with him. Although she acknowledged that she had kissed Shawn, she insisted that Shawn had simply attempted to assist her. Chanel suggested that Johnny thank Shawn for watching out for him as well, but Johnny stated he should thank his cousin. She shared the wisdom Shawn had given her with Johnny. "I believe he's correct," she continued. Rachel called the woman in white in Armid on her antiquated telephone. "I wanted to see how Ava was doing," the young girl remarked. Ava was okay, the woman reassured Rachel, and she was having a lovely little breakfast. Ava glared at the woman while still gagged. After being reunited with their daughter, the woman in white asked Rachel if her parents had fallen into each other's arms. "Not even close," deadpanned Rachel. The woman assured Rachel that they got the biggest obstacle out of the way, so she shouldn't worry. She glared back at Ava. The woman urged Rachel to put all of her energy into getting her parents back together after Rachel warned her to be on the lookout for sneaky Ava. The woman went to Ava and took off her gag after hanging up with Rachel. The woman told Ava that since the parrot man was the only one who ever visited the house, screaming would not be helpful. The woman said that Rachel had needed her assistance with Rachel's parents when Ava questioned why Rachel had come there. "Who the hell are you?" Ava said, wondering why the woman bothered. The woman described herself as someone who finds it unbearable to witness a family split up. Ava opened up about her personal experiences with Tripp in an effort to connect with the woman. She claimed to have tried to make up for the years she had spent apart from her son. The woman acknowledged that she had experienced something similar. When Ava expressed her desire to stay with Tripp after he married, the woman shot back, saying that Ava shouldn't have been selfish and put herself in the way of Rachel's parents. Ava maintained that she had attempted to break up with Brady but he had turned her down. Unfazed, the lady retorted that Ava ought to have vanished, as you are going to do now. Ava changed strategies because she was sick of being polite to the old crone. With one phone call, she said, she could have the woman dead. The woman would then be haunting these halls for real, Ava declared. Smirking, the woman stated that Ava made her think of a man she had known in the past. After being made to cower in fear by the man in question, the woman finally confronted him. It was only at that point that she realized she had nothing to fear. She wasn't alarmed by Ava's warnings. She also made fun of Ava for not saving the day yet, even though it seemed like Ava had told Brady. The woman made an unsuccessful attempt to get Ava to eat. Restoring Ava's gag, she took another call from Rachel. Rachel explained to the woman what Brady had stated regarding the message from Ava. They would be busted soon, she feared. Rachel was told to wait as the woman escorted Ava to a different room. Brady hadn't listened to Ava's full message, the woman later boasted to Ava. Since then, she has resolved the Brady issue.